Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. We have another police-involved shooting of possibly an unarmed black man in Texas once again. This time, it happened in a town called Temple, Texas. 28-year-old Michael Dean was shot and killed by police. Now, the story was that one of the officers knocked on Michael Dean's family's house. And so one of the officers told the mother that Michael Dean was dead. But then they didn't even explain to them what happened to Michael Dean. Let alone, they didn't even tell them where is Michael Dean's body. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, reaction will not show you the video, but you will hear the audio of this story. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then I'm going to continue the rest of my commentary.
Just want to know what happened to my son that caused him not to be with us anymore.
A local family is searching for answers tonight after their son was shot and killed by a Temple police officers. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday evening. I'm Chris Radcliffe.
And I'm Leslie Draffin. In tonight's top story, we are hearing from 28-year-old Michael Dean's family. He's the man who was shot and killed last night in an officer-involved shooting in Temple.
6 News' Cole Johnson spoke with Dean's parents. Cole, they don't know much about what happened.
Chris and Leslie, Christine and Moses Dean tell me they got a knock at the door at 1:30 a.m. from police saying their son was killed, but they still don't know what led up to his death.
I don't know how to bury a son. How do you bury your child?
One question on top of many others for the Dean family after their loved one, Michael Dean, was shot and killed by a Temple police officer Monday night.
We didn't get informed until 1:30 a.m. this morning, which is like 5 hours after he was dead.
Christine and Moses Dean say an officer came to their door and let them know Michael was dead, but didn't explain much else.
All he said was he came towards the police officer and he was shot. He would know better than to approach the police if they're pulling him over and hop out of his car.
There was also confusion about where Michael's body is. Originally, they say they were told it was in Dallas, but later found out he's still in Temple. They say they aren't blaming anyone, they just want to know what happened.
They should have had a definite explanation for us and not a bunch of I don't knows.
Authorities are tight-lipped about this shooting. All we know is it happened around 8:15 p.m. near the intersection of Southeast HK Dodgen Loop and Little River Road. The officer involved was uninjured and now on paid administrative leave.
People don't know. We don't know. So, I mean, it's more hurtful to hear some of the comments and everything when you don't know.
Now Dean's family just wants answers and closure for their son, a person Christine says would give the shirt off his back in the cold.
My son was not a criminal. He loved everybody and everything, and he loved life.
We do know that Michael has a criminal history, arrested for multiple misdemeanors.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I don't want to hear his criminal past. I'm getting sick and tired of the media talk about his criminal past. What does this have to do with what happened to him that night? Now, you heard what the newsman said. He said that, when the police, one of the officers knocked on, Michael Dean's family's home, the mother of Michael Dean, just told that her son was dead. The police officer told her son was dead. But then they didn't give them an explanation of what happened to him. In fact, they didn't even give them where the body was. So they did not even know where was his body. And then on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, they didn't even identify the officer that was responsible of the shooting. So these are so many unanswered questions. And you heard what the mother said, that there's so many I don't knows. They didn't give no more information of the investigation. They was tight-lipped on it, which to me, they know they were in the wrong, because if that's the case, Why didn't you inform the family what happened to Michael Dean and let them know where did you take the body? Now, you even hear them saying that the body was in Dallas, but it turns out that it was still in Temple, Texas. So see how they playing games, ladies and gentlemen. They tell them one thing, and then they end up being in somewhere else. So the families deserve what happened. They deserve not only what happened to Michael Dean, but they also deserve the location of his body, because they don't even know where his body is. And the tweet from Lee Merritt, and this is from attorney Lee Merritt. By the way, he did two different tweets. The first tweet, he says that his name was Michael Dean. He was 28. He was the father of 3 beautiful girls. He stocked auto parts for a living. The family hasn't been told anything other than he was stopped by police and was shot in the head when he came towards the officer. And then the second tweet, he says, we demand his family be allowed to see body and dash cam video. Bell County DA Henry Garza, and there's his office number in Texas. And he continues, says that this family deserves answers without any further delay. So that's attorney Lee Merritt's tweets. See, so many unanswered questions here. And the way I see it, I feel like this is a cover-up, because number one, if you tell the family that Michael Dean is dead, that he was shot by police, number one, what happened to him? Number two, where is the location of his body? And number three, who's the officer that was responsible of the shooting of Michael Dean? So these are 3 unanswered questions, which, of course, police is not going to say anything, of course, until the investigation is complete. Now, the officer, which they're not going to identify, is reported that he is now being paid on administrative leave, which is no surprise. But the media already made him a criminal, because you heard the last video. He said he already served, he got a criminal past, blah, 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 blah. But my question is, ladies and gentlemen, is, listen, whether he has a criminal past or not, what does this have to do with what happened to him? Something happened that night. So the family deserves answers. They still don't even know what happened. And they deserve to know what happened to Michael Dean. And they didn't say anything, let alone the officer that shot him wasn't even identified yet. Why is that? Y'all let me know. Please tell me what you think about this story. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. And with that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.